So once you've introduced yourself through the introduction paragraph, let's get into the actual writing of the body of the paper. The biggest suggestion that I can give you about this section of the writing process is to treat every body paragraph that you write in the same way as you treat the filling sentences in an Oreo paragraph. Only instead of sentences, they are full Oreo paragraphs themselves that deal with one aspect of your topic. Every topic needs to back up your thesis statement. Think of your thesis statement as the topic sentence of your paper, and you need to use the concepts of unity, support, and organization that we talked about with paragraph writing to back up the main point your essay is trying to make. Effective body paragraphs will address an aspect of the topic. This means you won't try to defend the thesis statement with just one reason or a bunch of reasons mashed into one paragraph. Rather, you'll take one of your reasons and expand on it. If I think 5 Watt is the best coffee shop in Minneapolis, I need to talk about the drink selection, the atmosphere, the people, but I don't have an effective essay if I just list those reasons like very quickly. I need to organize each of those into paragraphs, each with their own topic sentences, because remember, these are still Oreos, and develop that idea with details, specific ones that back up my smaller claims. If the topic sentences of each paragraph are supported, the paragraphs will come together to support the thesis, as long as you've worked big to small using this method. So what types of details should you use that will best support the thesis? Well, any of these work. Facts, anecdotes, analyses, paraphrases, statistics, quotations, explanations, comparisons, examples, definitions, summaries, analogies, etc. Make sure that these are well explained and that you have sources to back all of them up. If we take a look at my thesis, comparisons, anecdotes, and analyses might be the best option for that one, but others may work better in other contexts. If you're writing about sports, for instance, statistics are going to be very effective in making your point. There are several ways to find these details. Reflecting is a great way to develop your ideas. This is where you brainstorm, make information maps, or free write. We do a lot of free writing in this class for this reason. It makes you sharper for identifying details and figuring out new ways of explaining information. Observing can allow you to take details out of everyday life. You can use these as long as they're accurate, easy to explain, and help you make your points in a unique, interesting way. Talking to people who have experience is a great way to gather details as well. Some of the best sources you can come across are those who have had first-hand encounters or experiences with a given subject. If you can get real people confirming details, that's a very valuable resource. And of course, reading. Facts can be found in books, websites, newspapers, and in a lot of other print media forms. The biggest thing to remember here is to cite the source. Don't try to pass off borrowed information as your own. You may be asking, how should I organize these paragraphs? After all, organization is the third way we can support our thesis. If a paper is properly organized, it can actually become more interesting and more effective at communicating its point. So let's say that my paragraphs in my coffee shop essay are about drinks, atmosphere, and the people. What would be the best way to organize that essay? I have a couple of options available to me. The first is chronological order. This is where you tell about the events in the order in which they occurred. When your topic has a sequence of events, this can be a really great strategy. It can also be used for narrative paragraphs, which may tell a true story or a fictional one, for writing about a historical event or describing steps in a process, although it probably doesn't work as well for my essay. The next one is spatial order. This is writing to describe a person, place, or object, including details in an orderly way, moving from left to right, top to bottom, near to far, inside to outside. So I would find a way to describe the place I'm in by moving from one side to the other. This could work, but I may miss some important details that I could use to convince my reader if I'm only focused on describing the place. So this is good for descriptive writing, but for my purposes, I need to talk about more than just what the place looks and feels like. Next, logical order, giving information in the order a reader needs to know it. Usually logic determines which details you group together or where you provide background info or definition of terms, and this is a great and effective strategy. But I may lose time wondering about what my reader needs to know about the coffee shop. This could be very different for every reader because different readers may have different things they want to know. Because of this, there really isn't a logic to how the paper should be organized. This leads me to the final strategy. Order of importance. When trying to persuade your audience, state the least important reasons and other details first and end with the most important ones or the reverse. I can use my judgment about what I consider to be the most important, or maybe I can even state some reasons about why I consider some reasons to be more important than others. So I believe I'm going to organize my paper like this: atmosphere, people, drinks, because I believe that that is a least important to most important type of organization. I think drinks is the most important because not everyone who goes into a coffee shop stays for the people or the atmosphere. So I'm going to end with that one because sometimes you're just in and out of the shop and the drink may be the only impression you get of the coffee shop. So you might be unable to experience the atmosphere or the people, but if the drinks are the best in the city, then that point can make up for the other two, making it, in my opinion, the most important. So I'm going to close my body paragraphs with that, because that's the one, if you experience the coffee shop, that everyone will be able to experience.